Well, you can see it all over the affected areas in Tuscaloosa. Shattered brick and mortar, the remnants of shingles and roofs, branches and downed trees. It's called debris. Thomas Granger is a debris specialist working with the Alabama Emergency Management Agency, and he's here to tell us about where we're at with debris in Tuscaloosa. And from the looks of it to me, it is everywhere. There's all kinds of debris.
It is everywhere. It is everywhere. And we'd like to emphasize safety first off for the people. We are getting some crews out there to start picking up the rights-of-ways, that debris that is alongside the roadsides. Emphasize safety for people picking up debris on their private property and bringing it out to the road. You know, there's the woody debris. Of course, we have chainsaw safety. You want to be worried about that. Take care handling lumber that has nails in it, glass, sharp objects. And if we could ask the people to kind of, as best they can, separate their debris, what we call vegetative debris, which are limbs and trees and brush, try as best they can to keep it separate from the construction demolition debris, which is the 2x4s, insulation, siding, things like that, and put them in separate piles if they could. It's easier to pick up, it's easier to separate that way.
So if people are cleaning their place out right now,
yes,
and they've got branches and limbs, they've got insulation and stuff like that, that needs to go to the side of the road in two different spots, correct?
If possible, the best they can. When we pick this up, the vegetative debris can be handled differently than the construction demolition debris. Some of the woody debris can be recycled if it's not contaminated with the construction debris.
And I hate to throw you a curve. If you don't know, that's fine. I've had several people ask me the trees and things that are being picked up and taken away. Is that going anywhere and ending up as like wood or paper or anything, or?
And they will be recycled. In what fashion, I can't tell. A lot of times they chip it up and actually use it to make particle board and things like that. But they try as best they can to recycle as much material as they can and keep it out of the landfill.
Absolutely, the landfill is really what I was worried, because some of these trees were huge, ancient trees, and there's, you know, and you would hate to see them cut down, but if they have to be down, you'd like to see something happen to them, not just be wasted, thrown into the landfill.
That's right. As best we can, recycle everything we can. If the people could, obviously don't mix your household garbage. Keep your same routine that you're used to in your city pickup. Don't put that with your debris. If you have what we call household hazardous waste, which is paints and thinners, oils, car batteries, things like that, put it separately as well. We don't want the crews picking this up, get something splattered on them. That's dangerous, and it needs to go to a different place. We dispose of that differently.
That's a great point. If you've got a car that was trashed, what do you want to do with it? Do you drag it to the edge of the road too, or what happens?
Well, in that case, typically you have insurance, and your insurance agent will give you funding to take care of the car. Typically, cars probably aren't going to come out to the roadside. They may, but typically that's something that's going to be handled through their insurance company.
Somebody's going to come and tow that away.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. Other things that we typically see in a storm like this are what we call white goods. That's refrigerators, stoves, ovens, freezers. If they also go separately, because the debris goes to different places, quite frankly. And so if we can when a truck comes down the street, one truck may be picking up the woody vegetative material and another truck picking up stoves and refrigerators.
And I take it you've had a chance to go out and move around Tuscaloosa and look at things. Compare this to other sites that you've been to. Is this the worst or close to it?
I'd say where the tornado hit, obviously, is I've never seen the complete devastation. I've been through 7 hurricanes in the south end of the state, and we get a lot of damage right on the beach, but as you progress northward, it tends to turn into just down trees and down limbs, and some house damage, but the level and magnitude of the complete devastation, I haven't seen at this magnitude.
All right, and real quick, we don't have a lot of time left, but if people need assistance getting this stuff off of their property, is there anybody they can call? What can they do?
Well, typically the first call is to the insurance company, and their insurance agent will help them manage the debris. Usually that's covered in their insurance policy. But yes, there are being steps taken because of the magnitude of the storm. There are going to be some steps taken to, after the rights-of-ways have been cleared and the roadways have been cleared, to allow the contractor to go on private property. That's going to be a little bit longer process. It won't happen right away. We've got to clear the streets, obviously, first, and that action takes a lot of cooperation with the homeowner to get a permit to go on their property, or what we call a right of entry. So that's a little ways down the road, but right now we're worried about what's on the roadside. One thing I would point out is when they're putting it out on the street, try to keep the debris off of water meters, gas meters, fire hydrants. Try not to let it stick out into the road, obviously. When they're throwing limbs up, try to make sure the limb doesn't stick out into the road. But a lot of times the contractor doesn't know there's a fire hydrant underneath that debris, and he'll pull it out of the ground. So just little things like that, the best the homeowner can do. I know it's a lot of devastation. They got a lot of things on their mind, but it helps out when we're picking this up, make it go a little bit smoother.
All right, Thomas, thank you very much for being with us today. If you're around later, I'd love to have you back on later this week. FEMA has lots of ways to assist you if you are a tornado survivor. It's not just debris. You can call them toll-free at 1-800-621-3362. And if you can get to a computer with internet service, you can find them online at fema.gov/assistance.